Hi, I'm Jack Mintz, and this is the School of Public Policy. Today, I am pleased to release a paper with my colleague Matt Krispowski on the topic of income splitting under the income tax system. Let me explain what the problem is. Under the existing income tax system with progressive rates, in other words, marginal tax rates that rise with income levels, a single earner family will pay more tax than a dual earner family. For example, if a family earns $70,000 in income, the single earner family will pay 30% more in federal tax than the single earner family. So the consequences are the following. First of all, it's unfair that one family ends up paying a different amount of tax compared to another family. And a second aspect of it is that it could impose a penalty on those families where they would like to have a spouse stay at home to raise children. And so therefore, a number of countries have introduced measures that would allow families to be treated more equally, and income splitting is an opportunity that allows one spouse to transfer income to the other spouse for tax purposes and to therefore be treated more like a dual earner family than in cases when there's just one person that's working. This is particularly important for those people who are employed, because under the existing tax system, we already have a number of features that reflect family taxation. For example, all our refundable tax credits like child tax benefits and the GST credit is based on family income. Also, one spouse can contribute to the RSP of another spouse. And pensioners can already split income. And those people who are in self-employed situations have more opportunities to split income with their spouses than others. So this is really unfair to workers themselves. Often there's a criticism about income splitting that actually when you have a stay-at-home spouse, they are able to do more at home, which is, you can think of as home production. You know, being able to do things around the house, also even raising their own children. We calculate the value of that, and what we find is that if you make one other adjustment to the income tax, in the case when families do decide to split income, that you can actually pretty well achieve full equality between single earner and dual earner families. And that is that those families that do decide to split income, we would not allow for the personal exemption to be claimed by a single earner that would be otherwise claimed by the spouse that stays at home. In other words, not allowing the transferability of that personal exemption to the working spouse. Instead, the spouse that is staying at home decides to go to work, then they will be able to claim that exemption. If we did that, actually what we show is that you almost get virtual equality between the two types of families, and you're no longer discriminating against single earner families under the tax system. This is not a new idea. It's been recommended by the very famous Carter Commission of Taxation, one of Canada's most important tax reports half a century ago. And I think it's about time that we introduce this concept. There is a revenue cost. We estimate it to at least be $2.5 billion, probably less than that, depending on how you bring in the proposals. But it does suggest that the federal government can actually move ahead, particularly if they phase it over time, which will minimize the revenue cost at the beginning, especially once they get to the point of balancing their budget. I'm Jack Mintz. This is the School of Public Policy. Thank you for watching.